Alicia, he leído que eres amante del género de espías y de Bourne en particular, que te ponías las películas en bucle. ¿Cuánto tiempo tardaste en decirle que sí a Paul Greengrass cuando te llamó?
I think when I heard that I was going to be in the room with him and meeting, I met with him for a lunch in London. I was already kind of, first of all, he's such an incredible filmmaker, and I'm such a fan of both his previous feature films and what he did with the Bourne franchise, that I was trying to sell myself in, wanting to tell him how much I cared about both the character and excitement of them teaming up again, him and Matt. So when I got the call later on from my agent saying that they invited me to join, I don't think it was time to consider. I think I had made up my mind.
Eres una de las caras nuevas en la saga. ¿Cómo ha sido encajar dentro de un equipo que son ya como una gran familia, que llevan muchas películas juntos y tienen muchos mecanismos ya establecidos?
Well, no, I mean, to coming in and being a newbie alongside Tommy Lee Jones and Vincent Cassel is, of course, quite intimidating, but also a big honor, and to be met by people who have sometimes when as an actor it's always like a period on each film when it is a lead up time for a few weeks when you try to find a language, and it could be new people that you work with, and it takes time. But when you got into this film, you see that it's not only a lot of the actors, but most of the crew was brought back, the gaffers and lighters and film and camera people. So it's like a language that was already there, a kind of calmness and a very friendly vibe. So they had open arms, so they were very sweet to me when I arrived.
Yendo ya a la trama de la película, el factor tecnológico es fundamental en la historia y tu personaje es clave en este sentido. ¿Te costó mucho entrar en un personaje tan técnico, tan tecnológico?
Okay. I mean, to try and portray someone who, I mean, in most of our eyes, I think we look up to them and almost see them as superheroes. I mean, the abilities that these young people in the world of hacking and technology has is pretty extraordinary. I mean, they kind of have formed our world and reality at the moment, and also has defined kind of the change what has happened since the last Bourne movie. So I was very fortunate to meet, of course, people who worked with this and get inspired through them. And but then, of course, it's movie magic. I kind of felt quite silly sitting there pretending to look really badass and knowing what I was doing in front of the screen. But thank God you have good editing and people who make sure that it looks cool in the end.
La película plantea la lucha entre seguridad y libertad. En un mundo como el de ahora, en el que estamos tan metidos en las redes sociales, todo el mundo está interconectado, cualquiera puede ser espía y ser espiado, ¿no? ¿Cómo ve ella ese dilema, que es tan real, que plantea la película?
I think in the kind of classical Bourne manner, in the sense that I think they reinvented the genre back then with having a spy genre that kind of felt like it had a backdrop and a context, which were things you read in the news, is now what we brought back to this new film, and also what I think will make sure it kind of stands on its own two legs. And I think when it comes to technology and the questioning of privacy, I am very much in believers in that the only way for us to be free and is to make sure that we have our privacy. That if that's lost, that's the last thing we can keep on to.